President William Ruto was among the many guests that graced Uganda's 60th anniversary Independence Day celebrations that were held yesterday. In his remarks, the recently elected President of Kenya challenged fellow leaders from the East African community to work towards creating a borderless East African community to foster economic growth among member states.
So that we can transform our borders, which today stand out as barriers, and convert them to bridges so that goods, services, and people can move across this East Africa without any impediments.
This move has since been welcomed by Ugandan members of parliament who believe that the decision is long overdue.
I think when he joins hand with the president, something tangible will be achieved. And we are pretty sure that when we have a borderless community of East Africa, our unemployed workers may get a chance of working in Congo, working in Tanzania.
But states to come together with the borders left closed, it doesn't really create any meaning. Because the integration that we are talking about the common markets, we are talking about free trade unions, we are talking about without these restrictions. Why should you get a passport to go to Kenya? Why should you get authority to cross to Rwanda?
According to the legislators, however, several issues that need to be streamlined, including having a common currency.
The idea of having a borderless East African community, I think, is everyone's dream, but we know we still have a long way. However, it is good to know that the leadership, the presidents, have the goodwill. But we know we need a uniform currency. We know the economies are a bit different in terms of development. Kenya is a bit ahead of ours. The GDP, debt to GDP ratio in Tanzania and Kenya is different from Uganda. So there are still economic challenges, but we know it would help us as a country. Free movement of labor and goods, because now a Ugandan would go to Kenya to get a job without paying a work permit.
With open borders, there is free movement of goods and services, which promotes competition. The question on many people's lips: is Uganda ready?
Uganda at this moment is not ready to reap out of it or to benefit out of it, simply because the cost of production in Uganda is still high as compared to the other East African countries. Notably, the cost of fuel. In Kenya, it is lower than it is in Uganda. In Tanzania, it's lower. In Rwanda, it's lower. When you get to the cost of electricity, still in Kenya, it's lower. Just a month or two ago, we were discussing on how Uganda can import electricity from Kenya. So once you have your electricity down, your fuel down, and other factors, your cost of production is down. So for a similar good that is manufactured in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, that good will be cheaper from sources of Kenya and Tanzania. So when you present those goods on the market, customers will go for the cheaper one. So Tanzanians and Kenyans and people from other countries, they will have more leverage in terms of accessing market or having their goods bought more than Ugandans will do.
The East African community countries have grown from just 3 nations to 7 following the inclusion of the Democratic Republic of Congo.